Hey y'all, welcome to the Clock Tower. I'm Colton, here with Brandon. Probably the most anticipated episode of 5 Cards 5 Minutes that we've done so far. We're finally talking about Data Live, rares and double rares. Brandon, get us started with our first card.
Starting off, we have the level 1 Kotori. She's paired with the Choice combo. On turn gets power as long as you have another character on field. And when attacks with the combo, has a potential +2, adding characters or events to hand. Especially with being on Choice, it is a very, very good card.
This is one of the best level 1 combos I've seen in a minute. Potentially plussing 6 if you have a front row full of these. You're almost guaranteed to have a full hand at the end of turn. It gets big enough so that when you slam the Choice, it can usually get over level 1 stuff that isn't a standby target. So decent consistency, will die on the way back, but you can't beat +2 in each lane, and it's on a Choice. I love this combo, and I think it definitely deserves more attention than it's been getting. Next is this 3-2 Kurumi, 9,000 power. If you have 2 or more other characters, it gains 1,500, and it memory kicks when it gets a reverse. On play heal, but its most notable ability is its Icy Tail, pay 3, pitch 1, mill 5 from the bottom of your opponent's deck into waiting room, deal X, X equal to the number of climaxes among those cards. When swinging into heavy compression, this can consistently get a burn 1, burn 2 off, and it also memory kicks when it gets a reverse, which it can with some back row help. There's a lot to like or hate, depending on if you're playing with it or against it, about this card.
Absolutely. I think one of the big things is the memory kick that it also gets, because that can help deal with very targeted removal tech.
Especially level 3s that have hand encore.
Yep, being able to remove troublesome pieces from field. Very much an important factor for this card, as well as the Icy Tail. Pretty strong profile, all wrapped up in one card. Next up, we have Terrible Spirit Kurumi. Again, 2 or more characters, gets power, placed on stage, heals, and in addition to that, we have a Climax combo. On attack with Standby, you're able to then perform 1 of 3. You get to choose for each attack on attack, whether it's stock swap or choosing 3 cards in your opponent's waiting room, shuffling them back into your deck to decompress them, or if you discard 2 cards, you can then burn for 3 before your attack. Great versatility at a top end, which really allows you to be able to deal that precise damage for win.
This is a really versatile top end that has basically no downsides. There are no situations where this card isn't useful. It's on standby, which essentially becomes this, standby heavy, big target kind of field. The burn 3 is probably going to stick. It's a little bit high rolly. It can get canceled, but this is a really solid, really strong combo with a high damage ceiling. Next is to save Spirit's Kotori. Gives everything in front of it 2,000 power. On play, it also has 3 abilities when played from hand. 1 is look it up to 3, choose 1. 1 is salvage a character from waiting room. And the other, 1,000 power and a soul to every character on your board. That's really useful when slamming standby because standby doesn't give soul, doesn't give power. Helps get the endgame setup because it can salvage one of the Kurumis. It can dig for a climax. Lots of utility.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. This card has so much going for it to help set up that end game. As you can see, it's kind of like a theme of this deck, being able to on-play and choose an effect. Really helps to consolidate some deck slots with this card as well. Definitely worth inputting into whatever deck you're playing. Last up, we have Kotori again. When placed on stage from hand, you can look at the top 2 cards of your deck and rearrange. And then it also is a drop salvage, pay 1, discard 1, salvage a character from waiting room. If you do that effect, you can then grant another character 1,000 power. Know what your triggers are going to be, or maybe double check to make sure you have climaxes for a brainstorm. You have so much information with this card.
A card that has, the standard utility of drop search or drop salvage, plus a couple of other things that make it just that little bit more useful. It works really well in a deck that is designed to give you as many options as possible. So that's what we've got. Thank you for joining us. We will be back in 2 weeks for Uncommons and Commons, the place where this set really goes nuts. Be sure to check that out. In the meantime, Brandon will have a Data Live deck tech on Tuesday, gameplay for that on Thursday, and another Clock Talk the Tuesday after that. So, until then, thank you for joining us. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and have a good one.
We'll see you then.